Yesterday, we looked at the Benue South Senatorial District election petition results and the plans for a rerun in that district and in Benue State. And we had the candidate for the All Progressives Congress, Daniel Onje, here on set, but the representatives of the former Senate President could not make it, but he's here today. So we'll go back there and let's hear from him what they have to say about that ruling. Dr. Adakole Elijah, Director of Media Publicity, David Mark Campaign Organization. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
What was your reaction to the tribunal's ruling?
Well, it is actually a Court of Appeal judgment.
A Court of Appeal judgment.
We found it very, very funny and bizarre because it defies all legal logic. Because there are plethora of Supreme Court judgment that said you cannot predicate a judgment on clerical error, especially when it has to do with date. A date that does not conflict with figures that were generated in the elections from polling units down to ward, collated at the various local government. We have 1,017 polling units in Benue South Senatorial District. We have 102 council wards in Benue South Senatorial District. We have 9 local government areas in Benue South Senatorial District. Results that were generated from the various polling units, either in Agatu, Okutumbe, Obagaji, Otada, Akpachi, all these places were not challenged because even when Onje made attempt to say that yes, the elections did not comply with the relevant provisions of the law, he was unable to prove allegations of thumb printing, ballot stuffing, ballot snatching, and so on and so forth. Under cross-examination, Onje testified as PW17. I was in the court throughout, from the tribunal down to the appeal court. And when he was pointedly asked whether he was in any of these 1,017 polling units, he said, apart from his village, Adumaona in Orokam, district of Ogbadibu local government area of Benue State, he never visited any other place. Now, if you didn't visit, if you're unable to visit, how come you are now able to know that elections in all this area did not take place or that there were electoral malpractices? Now, at the end of the day, during cross-examination, he attempted to smuggle in what they call Form EC81. That is a senatorial result form for the entire senatorial district. Senator David Mark's counsel, Ken Ikone, pointedly informed the court that this document was not listed. This document was also not pleaded. And parties are bound by their pleadings. If you want to make a case and documents are front-loaded, those documents are supposed to be pleaded and to be listed. So the tribunal look at it and say, well, because these documents were not pleaded, because these documents were not also listed, the Form EC8, we cannot use it. It was rejected and marked reject. There was no appeal against this rejection. That was in July this year. Then, strangely, in November, the Court of Appeal predicated their judgment on a document that is not even before them. Because once a document is rejected and there's no appeal against it, you cannot base your judgment on that document. It's a position of the law. So we found it very, very, very strange. In any case, even the Court of Appeal went a step further to ingloriously invoke what we call the Bukachuan's legal logic. According to her, elections is pyramidal. And as a result of this, the most important aspect of election is the base. That election grows from ground to the top. That is, whatever happened at the various polling units, provided there are no complaints there, especially when the results were equally signed and countersigned by all the parties' agents. The PDP agents signed in all the 1,017 polling units. The APC agents also signed in all the 1,017 polling units in Benue South Senatorial District. There was no problem. These results were collated at the various council wards. We have 102 council wards. Collated. result signed by all the parties. The PDP and the APC agent also endorsed this result. It went to the various local government areas, the 9 local government areas. All the agents there, the PDP agent, the APC agent, also signed. Now, if at the end of the day, at the senatorial district, if there is a clerical error on the part of the returning officer in terms of date, can you use that now to nullify election? Because the election didn't take place at the senatorial level. Election took place at the various polling units. And so there are plethora of Supreme Court judgment also that we cannot use clerical errors, such as in date, because this date does not in any way affect figures that were generated from the various polling units. The Court of Appeal grows over that and resurrected a document that is not even before them. That is the truth of it, because once a document is marked reject, you cannot bring it except there is a valid, because there was a ruling, every ruling must be challenged.
Was there a matter that had to do with the number of voters registered, the number of voters accredited, and the number of voters that cast their vote?
No.
160,000 that voted, 140,000 accredited. Was there a figure like that?
There was no problem like that.
There was no problem like that?
There was no problem like that. What he did, first and foremost, he predicated part of his petition on the non-usage of card readers. Now,
were card readers used in your area?
Card readers was discarded.
Completely?
Completely, because INEC gave a directive. You know, the National Assembly and the presidential election took place the same day. And because card reader became very problematic, INEC instructed their field officers to discard the usage of card readers.
But Mr. Onje insists that in the polling units where he won, card readers were worked effectively.
It is not true.
And where he lost, card readers did not work.
Okay, where was he to know that card reader was used in one place and it was not used in another place? Because he's one, and he said under cross-examination that after voting in my polling unit, I never visit any other.
But he said they got a true certified copy of the card reader report, and they saw that where he won, card readers worked. And where he lost, card readers never worked.
And where did he win? It is not true. What happened was that he brought a self-appointed expert who claimed to be an expert in card reader. The man came, sat down with his team, according to him, look at the entire result and fabricated report. And when he was subjected to cross-examination, he accepted that the report was inherent with a lot of mistakes. And he also told them that he's a data analyst, not even an expert. Okay. So now, do you expect the court to place any reliance? Because I'm not a staff of Channel. I may not even be a journalist, assuming I'm not. And I'm coming to testify on issues that have to do with media practice. Because I'm not an expert, do you expect a competent court to place any reliance on my testimony? And so the lower tribunal said no. Your testimonies were too incredible to be believed. In any case, that you did this after the petition has been filed, meaning that you were doing it to help somebody. You understand?
Just a moment.
Even the appeal court also agreed that the so-called expert that Tony was relying upon was not an expert. The appeal court also agreed on that point.
Okay, what about the allegations that Senator Mark was declared winner while collation was still going on in so many polling
That is what I told you, that it was a clerical error. The clerical error was that the returning officer ought to have written 28th of March. I don't know what happened, he wrote 29th of March, he wrote 28. Result from the various local government, about 7 of them, were 29. Now, and I'm saying that 28, the discrepancy in date, does not affect vote that took place at the various polling units.